Hello, 16-year-old self. Just to get this out of the way, 7, 13, 22, 31. 7, 13, and 22 are a no-go. I repeat, a no-go. Abort the mission. 31, we'll see. Not entirely sure yet, but still. And February 22nd, that day you met a good friend. So remember that. Internalize that. Make sure you get that through your head. Oh, what else is there to say? You have a lot to learn, but you know that. You love learning. You find it exciting. I should probably warn you at this point that some of the most important things you'll ever learn are not going to be fun and exciting things to learn. They're going to be very hard and very difficult. And don't be put off by that. That is okay. It's okay for things to be rough and difficult sometimes. And just because it's hard for you to learn something doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It's so rough telling you this. You have good grades, and there's people around you in your life who are very supportive, and you should be thankful for that. But you could do more to be learning more, to be more ready, because you're going to be getting good grades for a while before book learning becomes really hard. But you could speed this process up by seeking out harder books, harder things to learn, maybe things that make you uncomfortable, because you're a little too secure in your comfort zone sometimes. So yeah, work on that. And by working on that, may I suggest that you find the people in your life that you could learn from and talk to them more, because they have things to offer you that you haven't even considered asking them yet. Think about questions that you'd want to ask them, questions about their experiences, about the way they live their lives, the way they think, that would push you out of your comfort zone a bit. Because you're kind of settled, and it's going to take a pretty heavy rock to move you. I think that's a generic enough term that you won't guess what I'm talking about. A pretty unfortunate incident in your life to really move you out of that comfort zone if you're not careful. So start talking to people now and figuring out how other people feel about life, how they experience life. Because you know you're different, or at least you feel really different, but you don't know just how much you are the same as other people around you, just how normal you are in some ways. And I don't mean that as an insult, though you probably are taking it as one right now, my 16-year-old self. But you have a lot more in common with the people around you than you realize. So that's going to be one of the hardest things about growing up is realizing just how normal you are in some ways. You've fretted about how different you are and how you don't fit in, and that's caused you a lot of heartache. But you're more normal than you realize, and you will realize that at some point. That doesn't make you. That doesn't mean you're not special. I think you're special, and there will always be people in your life that think you're special. So don't worry about that. But at the same time, don't be fooled by that into thinking that there aren't people around you just as special as you are, and who have just as much to offer to you as the books that you read all the time. So go out and find stories from the people around you, because they have a lot to offer. And by that, I do mean family, but I also mean friends from church, from school, all your friends, people that you meet anywhere you go, you can learn things from. That's something that you'll learn as a missionary, but it's something that you could start learning now if you really worked at it. And it might make the whole adjustment period for the first part of your mission more comfortable. Yeah, let's see. Was there anything else I had to say? See, all the big warnings that I might think of, that I'm thinking of right now, all the things that might get you around the heartache, then the suffering, the trials that you know you're going to have. Everybody has them. it would seem unfair. It just seems unfair to give them to you. And it's not just unfair. It wouldn't be right because you need those experiences in order to become the person you're going to be. And even the things that I feel are just so grossly unfair that we could have skipped them, you and I, I'm probably later down the road going to think differently about them. So I'm not going to spoil anything for you. And you can hate me for that if you want to, but that seems kind of pointless, and I'm sure you realize why. Anyhow, yeah. Oh, and let's see what comes after 31. 40. We haven't thought about 40. I still haven't thought about 40. Anyway, take care, 16-year-old self. Tell your parents you love them, and make sure, by the way, here is one more piece of advice I'm going to give. Make sure that you keep listening to them after you become an adult, because they don't suddenly become dumb as a result of that. They still have a lot of really good things to offer. And ignoring that is not going to help you in the slightest. So pay attention. Pay very close attention to the things they have to say. Take care, 16-year-old self. Bye bye.